Hey, thanks for watching the show. Please subscribe. Why in the world does everybody hate Captain Marvel? Well, let's talk about it because we have pretty definitive answers, and pretty much there's three reasons why everybody hates Captain Marvel. Not everybody. There's people who are uneducated who don't hate Captain Marvel just because they don't know who Brie Larson is. They haven't read about her opinion. So the number one reason why people hate Captain Marvel, who have read about Brie Larson, let's go ahead and put that in there, is because they cannot disassociate Brie Larson from the role as Captain Marvel. It's not just Captain Marvel, but it is Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. For example, we don't disassociate Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. He's not just an actor playing Iron Man, but we associate Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Someone else can't fit that role as Iron Man. Why? Because Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. And people, when they read about Brie Larson, the things that they say, for example, where she apparently there was she was in an airport, and there was a baggage clerk who smiled at her, and she got ticked at him and was telling people about how she doesn't want them to smile at her, you know. So they realized that Brie Larson is a loser. She's a loser. And they don't want Captain Marvel to be a loser. So you can't put Brie Larson, who is a loser, and just frankly just very boring person. She's a very boring person. I think she can get on talk show hosts and talk shows and act like she's an interesting person, but you can very plainly realize that she is acting. She's not actually that way, whereas Robert Downey Jr. is actually that way, or at least we think he is. So as long as we have that persona that he is Iron Man, and we do not see Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. You can't take someone who gets upset because somebody smiles at them and stick them in a role as Captain Marvel. So she goes, this movie starts already this movie is doomed, not necessarily to monetary failure, but to visual failure and to the reception of this Captain Marvel, and it will taint Marvel. It will taint it going forward. They're gonna, we'll probably watch the movies because we want to see Thanos and the various other characters. But anytime Brie Larson or Captain Marvel comes on the scene, we're like, oh God, here we go again. They have to do this. They have to make sure that she's stronger than the Incredible Hulk. Well, he's not so incredible anymore because she has proton blasters, little pow-pows that come out of her fist. Does anybody else think that those things look so stupid? Does anybody else think that they should keep those things, proton blasters, out? I mean, yeah, a spider web from a machine, a blaster from a plasma blaster, but a proton blaster coming out of a girl's hand, and then her putting her little hand like that and saying, it's a proton blaster. Does anybody else think that that's just like, it's stupid? They need it, Frank, hands down, number one best thing they can do, not get rid of Captain Marvel, but they need to pull Captain Marvel back and not make her the primary heroine or the hero. They are trying to project her as the hero. That is, so wait, everything Iron Man, Captain Hulk, Thor, and all these guys have done for all this time, the last 10 years, that doesn't mean anything anymore? And now she just comes on the scene at the last minute and fixes everything? That's bad writing. You can't do that. That's bad writing. That's not a good idea. There has to be a little bit more ingenuity, a little more creativity to that thing than to pull some random woman in that nobody knows anything about. Who gives a care if she got an Oscar? I could care less that she got an Oscar. Who cares what happened in the past? Look what she is now. You don't want that. You don't want that. Matter of fact, that green outfit is terrible, isn't it? That green, like, pseudo leather look, it is terrible. Who uses dark green? Didn't they learn anything with the Green Lantern? Don't use green. Green is terrible. The only person that can wear green is the Incredible Hulk. Green is bad. You don't want green. And it needs to be a little gray mixed in there. So yeah, Brie Larson is the number one reason why this movie is probably going to very much taint. And a lot of people are thinking that Kevin Feige is bringing in the SJW politics into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which anytime anything, as the saying goes, and I know this is not original, and frankly I hate using it because I just don't like repeating that kind of stuff. But go woke, get broke. Very bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Most of the people watching these films are going to be people like me, who do not like social justice warrior politics at all in any form or fashion. I went through that in college. I had that stuff crammed down my throat. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't like it. Happily married man, and I don't want that. I don't want that. This has nothing to do with women's rights. This has everything to do with control. This has nothing to do with rights of people. This is a control issue. The issue you are projecting is not the issue. It's not about women's rights. It's not about anybody's rights. It is about control. That's the issue at the end of the day. You want control, so you're pushing this political false narrative, whatever you want to call it, pseudo idea, false idea, onto people and saying, if you don't vote or think the way that we think, you are a racist, bigot, blah, 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 blah. I've been through it. You've heard 1,000 million people talk about it. It's not anything new here, so let's move on. So Brie Larson is the #1 reason this movie stinks already. No one wants to see this movie. And the #2 reason is, and this is the same thing I think in large part that happened with Solo, even though I do think Solo was a better movie than The Last Jedi by far, the thing that happened with Solo is it did not have that much interest. People go to Star Wars to see lightsaber fights. They go to Star Wars to see the Force being used. They don't go to Star Wars to see blasters. I mean, blasters are cool, but that's not primarily the reason what Star Wars is about. Star Wars is about the Force and about a one family, the Skywalker family, and I know that it's kind of diverted away from that, and they're trying to get away from the Skywalker family because maybe they're trying to sell more stuff, but originally it was about a boy and his father. That's what it was all about, and it's lost that now. It's not about a boy and his father anymore. It is about, well, who knows what it's about. I guess the Order and the Empire, but under the real thing wasn't about the Empire. And Johnson did in The Last Jedi, where he humiliated Luke and made Rey look like this incredible thing. They're gonna use Nick Fury as a humiliation stump. They're gonna beat him. They're gonna chop him. They're gonna cut him down. They're gonna make him look like an idiot, like a fool. And Brie Larson is gonna come out. And I can't disassociate Brie Larson from Captain Marvel, and she has tainted the role, unfortunately. So the first reason was that it's Brie Larson. The second reason is that no one in the world knows who Captain Marvel is, and like no one cares about Solo because it doesn't have the Force. No one cares about Captain Marvel because it doesn't have the main characters that have been the pushing force behind everything. The Captain Marvel doesn't have the dad-son relationship like the Star Wars, like the Luke Skywalker film did. It's lost that, and because it doesn't have the core driving reason behind things, which is your tight-knit group of people. Yes, you can add in some characters every now and then, but you can't add in somebody who's supposed to be better than everybody, who's supposed to be the strongest than everybody. The strongest of everybody is supposed to be the Incredible Hulk. That is supposed to be the strongest of everybody. That has been our mindset, and now you're going to come in with Captain Marvel, and the Incredible Hulk is just supposed to be this puny little nothing that she can beat up and do anything she wants. I think she even said at one point she could lift Thor's hammer. Well, whatever. Okay, so that's #2 reason, is that no one knows who Captain Marvel is and no one really cares. And then probably #3 is that the identity politics and the thing. Anytime you have that there is a grassroots movement, and it's larger than grassroots now, that purposely sniffs out and that looks for politics and social prerogatives and twistiness in movies, and if they get any hint of any of that kind of stuff in a movie, you're going to have a nightmare on your hand, because YouTube is going to head you off before the movie ever comes out, and it's going to destroy any chance of a large gathering going to a movie before the movie ever comes out. That movie's already rated. People don't realize that movie's already been judged, even if it hasn't even come out yet. But people have already judged that movie based off of a couple little trailers and based off the actress that they've chosen. That movie's already got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 20. And the movie hasn't even come out yet. So, quiet. Trying to do a video. Y'all forgive me. I got a French dog. He has no respect. But it hasn't even come out, and people have judged this movie already. This already got its score. It's already been deemed a Solo type movie, a terrible movie. and that's just the reality of the thing. So unfortunately, they're going to have to probably, I think probably the best thing that they could do is just kill Captain Marvel off, have Thanos kill her at the end of the movie, and everything will be fine, and we'll go forward with interesting people. No, they should not do a Scarlett Johansson Black Widow movie. I don't think it has the appeal that she has always been a support character. I don't think they should do a Scarlet Witch movie. She is not, frankly, she's not that interesting. But they fit okay. I think it would be interesting, and I forgot the girl's name, who was the Spear Girl from Black Panther. Frankly, she was the most interesting person in that whole stupid movie. The Spear Girl from Black Panther. I think that she has the ability, if they did it right, she has the ability to have her own movie, in my opinion. I don't know what you think. Go ahead and post your thoughts if you want to, and let me know what you think. These are just sort of random thoughts. Some of them were stolen thoughts. I mean, a lot of this stuff has been repeated 1,000 times, and you've heard it 1,000 times. But those are my top 3 reasons why Captain Marvel is going to fail, and why it has already failed. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe.